Welcome, everyone. This is Coffee with the Founder. Sometimes we drink coffee on here, sometimes we don't because it's late where you are, Tushar, over in London. But thank you for being here. I'm Beck Bamberger. I'm a founder myself, and we created this podcast to talk with crazy founders. And I say crazy in a loving way because you have to be a bit absurd to do a venture-backed company and to go through it and understand what it takes and grow it, hopefully to an exit or something like that, and not lose your mind while you're doing it. So with us today, straight from London, is Tushar Bagamane. He's the founder of Vola Finance. Thanks for being here, Tushar. What's up?
It's my pleasure, Beck. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing this so late, too.
Not too bad. I'm not having a coffee right now, but it's
Okay,
not
yes.
too late. It's still all right.
Exactly. I'm already done with my coffee, so we're not having that here as well, but we're here. So real quick, Vola Finance, it's about financial literacy and inclusion, especially for underbanked folks. What made you find this problem and want to get a solution for it?
So I was actually in college in the US. I went to NYU,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fascinated to see what a complex problem it was to build a credit score. And
Yeah.
a lot of my friends around me and people I knew were trying to um, start building their credit score because like their parents were telling them to,
Yeah.
etc., but they just didn't know how. And the little bit of the conundrum there is unless you have a credit card, it's hard to build a credit score. So out of college, we built a platform whereby people could sign up and use their existing payments to build their credit scores,
Yep.
rent, utilities, and also very soon we found that people want to bridge the gap between their paychecks. So it's not simple to align all of your income and expenses, especially your unexpected expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So we do cash advances that help people bridge that gap and avoid overdraft fees. So a lot of things that your banks should be doing but aren't incentivized and don't.
Mm-hmm.
So we complement your primary bank by making sure you don't pay those fees, you build your credit score, things like that.
So tell us why it is not the incentive of traditional banks to do so, to do these advance fees to help you with your credit score. Like, why is there such a gap for people to know?
One is traditional banks make a lot of money with overdraft fees, right? Like billions and billions of dollars.
Disgusting. Yes, I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's face that firsthand, right? Like I'm swiping and trying to buy coffee, and like every time I'm paying $35 for an attempt to get a coffee.
Yeah.
But that's one side of things. And the second thing is managing your finances is not easy, right? So there are a lot of aspects to it. And building a credit score takes a lot of tools, effort from the user side. So just the interface that the bank has to build, manage, and everything else is a lot of work. So just don't take that up. They think that's the responsibility of somebody else.
They go back to that. They think it's the responsibility of somebody else.
Somebody else or the user's responsibility of building that credit score.
Okay. So they're just like, we don't. It's not
Building
our interest. Yeah, it's not my interest as a banker. Like, why would I don't care about your credit score unless I'm trying to lend you money. Maybe then that's Okay. I must ask under your FAQs thing, you have a question: is Vola legit? So what made you do that? Because I haven't seen too many company pages that put like, "Are we legit?" Here's an FAQ.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to pick up on. I think we put that up especially in like the early stages because we were small and we wanted people to trust us and connect their bank accounts. And I think one of the frequently asked like Reddit questions was, "Is Vola legit?" So we wanted to make sure we address that concern because we are asking for sensitive information. We are asking the user to connect their bank accounts. So it's only valid that we tell them this is the kind of security that we use. These are the third-party services that support these integrations, and things are secure.
I love that you saw it on Reddit and you were like, okay, let's bubble that up then. So tell us a little bit more about this because this is
a lot about the company you're building through Reddit.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I feel like this is a hack we need to like go into the thing. When did you get the aha to go like, let's scan through Reddit and see? Other than the fact that it has become a dominant platform for people just in alt ChatGPT and AEO, answer optimization and so forth, that Reddit is being cited more and more, which to me is a wild, wild world that we live in. But what for you was the impetus?
I think I was just Googling Vola Finance, just trying to
Okay.
figure out our own SEO.
Yeah.
And just as a output of that, just a process of that, we discovered this. Just like trying to figure out ourselves what come up, like how we being portrayed, how we
Yeah.
optimizing, etc. And through that, yeah.
I just love that you were like, "Yep, we're gonna put it on as an FAQ." Like, yeah, people are asking, we put it right here.
The
I
best way to
like
optimize, yeah.
seriously. Okay, so you've been doing Vola Finance since 2017, so it's been a minute. You know, you're now getting 8+ years into it. In that, that's kind of the midpoint for a lot of founders sometimes. And so, would you see in the valley a bit? Slash, how are you keeping yourself perhaps motivated to continue on in the long desert that is startups?
I think that we were pretty lucky in the first few years that we were able to scale without burning too much money.
Good.
And we were also
Refreshing.
lucky to get a lot of feedback from users who were engaging with the platform. And what we learned was um, personal finance management is a full-time job, right? And for someone who already has a full-time job, managing their finances is not easy. So we're helping users build their credit scores, and what we're doing is adding more features to help them do things like pay down their existing loans. So on average, Americans have more than five different types of loans. This includes
Oh.
mortgages, car loans, student loans, things like that, credit card loans. So what we're doing now is building a dashboard that can help users track all of these loans, manage them, pay them down in the most optimal way possible to bring down their overall cost of borrowing. So it's interesting because the space that we're in and the demographic of customers that we have not just one problem statement, but several that we can address, and we're well poised to do.
Okay. And so now, like as a user, I can go on there and be like, all right, my 6 different debt vehicles, my student loan, my 2 home things, whatever, this other personal loan, boom, I can see it all there. It's nighttime over there, Tushar, as you know, in London. So you're hopefully going to be going to bed rather soon-ish. Is there anything keeping you up at night at this stage at the startup? Slash, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, first of all, I work New York time, so not anytime soon. Not going to bed anytime soon.
Dang.
Yeah, I think a few things keep me up at night. One is the need to scale. I think is something that we're at a point where we're investing a lot into new products like the ones that I just mentioned, and I think we're at a point where we're going to be launching some of these. So I think a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of excitement coupled together keeps me up a little bit, which is a good thing, because I think I channel that energy into more work. I'm able to productively use that.
So someone I asked, not on the podcast, but just in person, I asked one of my favorite questions, what's your favorite emotion and why? And she said anxiety, hard stop, anxiety. And I was like, wow, that's the first time I've heard that. And she said she loved it because it's adjacent to excitement,
right? Okay.
But with more of a kick in the pants. And okay, we need to do something about this. And I'm and it's future oriented typically, because you're not anxious about what happened in the past year. What happened. It's a future focused mentality. And I found that so fascinating. So for you, what is the channeling of anxiety? Because you did say excitement, so it's it's adjacent to it.
Yeah. And how I channel it is that.
Yeah, how do you channel it? How do you use that as an advantage versus getting, for some people, it's processed as oh gosh, I clam up, I can't think, or whatever. Typically not for founders. You bulldoze it to, pathways of productivity and whatever, but curious for you.
I do get anxious about things, but I think the ability to control and the predictability of things helps me kind of make that exciting for myself. And I think how I channel this is I'm very, very data focused. I think I'm very pragmatic. So I really sit myself down. I try to zoom out a little bit, try to put all the pieces together, try to conceptualize and formulate how I can predict the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
then zone in more and try to like build that from ground up. But just in terms of like zooming out, taking a deep breath, understanding, and then like coming back to like daily things, I think that's helped me.
That sounds very apropos of your NYU background. You have a BA in finance and real estate, so you're always I would imagine back in school, you're like, okay, how do we do predictive modeling for how much this real estate property is going to receive from us, finance modeling and everything. So I do tend to find the super math folks, the spreadsheet lovers, want to have that as a control mechanism, and anxiety is usually in the realm of non-control. So how do you control it? You go to like, well, what's a spreadsheet? What's the thing I can do and everything? So is a spreadsheet your love language? Like that's your anti.
I have a few like love languages then.
Oh, okay.
Spreadsheets, Confluence, Slack, a lot of tools.
Oh, okay. Well, tell us more. Like, what are your? Well, let's go to a little like favorite tool stack.
I think Slack. Slack is my.
Oh, it's the jam. It's the everything. Yes.
Confluence, Excel.
Excel? Seriously?
Excel does a lot for us.
Really? Okay. There's a founder we have. I'm not going to name the name just because maybe he doesn't want me to, but like that's moving, trying to get a way, way, way better Excel. But Excel is such a freaking.
Well, we would love to. We would love to pilot that.
Oh wait. Well then, okay. Then I probably have to share it with you. Okay. Okay. It's called Source Table, the AI spreadsheet. Okay. Shout out to the founder over there. Okay. I'm going to drop it in the chat here because you need to look at this.
Thank you.
Yes. I think I have a chat on here. Anyway. Okay. Okay. So wait. So, okay. Keep going with your tools and tell me why.
Google Meet. That's our internal all the time. Yeah. Like this is like 80% of our work time goes into this.
Okay. Now, let me ask this. This maybe is a little controversial for some or whatnot. I was chatting with a friend of mine. She's at a startup. They are raising capital. The founder is a bit older. Okay, comes from some old school institutions. And I don't mean like a Meta or an Apple. No. We're talking old school corporate type of stuff. And they're on Microsoft Teams. They do not use Slack. They use PowerPoint. There's some like antiquated things. And I was just like, what? And my bias, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on this, was, oh, you're not in the game. You aren't in the modern tech stack to basically build your company in efficient ways that everyone universally is using and deploying. To me, it was a little scary in the sense of, oh, wow, you're working at a company that's wanting to be a venture-backed startup, but is not in the game of using these tools. What do you think of that? Because you just gave us a laundry list of your romantic tools that you love.
I think it really depends on what industry you're in. So you I mentioned, I did my major in real estate.
Yep.
So real estate is one of those industries, that still use very, very legacy tools.
Yeah.
There are a few companies that are trying to like modernize that, but not really.
Yeah.
So I think it's very agnostic to like the type of industry that you're in. I think legal is another one as well, and that also comes from the need for security. But I think in general, if you want to compete in the industries that are already using these tools, it's going to be very, very difficult if you're not already like proficient with them, especially with AI and the advantages that come with that. I think is like tremendous, and it's just like a huge drawback if you're not able to like adapt to those.
Right. So does this take any of your mind space of like, oh, are we adopting fast enough, quick enough? Obviously, we're building something that hasn't been in existence before, but is the team itself not utilizing and being the most productive because for some reason we're missing out on the best tools and everything? I feel like that's generally where the AI frenzy is like, oh my God, are we using the best tools and everything? And do I need to hire 3 people when I could do it with one AI agent? That type of stuff. Is that on your mind at all?
Yes, it is. And as a matter of fact, we've had to push a lot of our team to actually start using these tools, just because I think just they're like, the behavior was just like, it's not going to be something that's going to help us, but we had to like change their mindset around it. And two is we're not only using those tools to improve productivity, but we're trying to include those tools in the products that we're building itself. So we're using AI to help users assess their transactions, if they had made certain changes, how much that could have helped them, and essentially guide them in automation of their cash flows. So we're incorporating a lot of AI into how we help users. So we're building a chatbot where users can ask, okay, like if I make this payment rather than this, what's that impact going to be on my credit score for my loan payments, etc. And like AI scrapes all of that information, which traditionally we couldn't do manually, and throws out that output.
Earlier, I mentioned anxiety as one of the answers to the question, what's your favorite emotion and why? What's your answer?
Oh, excitement for sure.
Oh, excitement. Okay, why excitement?
I think that's an energy that can really like tap into.
Yeah, it's a high frequency energy.
It's a high frequency energy. I can tap into it, not only to like get work done, but to just like formulate ideas as well. And like you said, I think the excitement helps you overcome the anxiety. So I'd rather have excitement.
Like more excitement. Yeah. Okay. How do you distinguish though between it, or do you have the skills yet? Because many people do not have the skills on lots of realms with emotion to, toggle and go like, okay, we're going to leave this feeling over here, or it's passing like a cloud in the sky. Okay, now I want this to come into things. So do you have a mechanism in which you guide yourself to more of the excitement than feeling angst?
I think I've evolved over time. I think in the beginning, it was a lot more anxiety and sleepless nights due to anxiety, especially because of the space that we're in, right? Like I mentioned, the reason we have an FAQ that says, that answers the question if
are we legit or not,
is because we are handling sensitive information, flow of funds. So it does bring about a lot of anxiety in terms of making sure all of those security pieces are in there. And at that point, it was good because we did set those guardrails up and make sure that we had those. We could answer that, is Vola legit properly? Like we could answer that question. But now I think, given that we have those guardrails in place and with a little bit more experience and a team that has been working on this product for a long time as well, that understanding, I think, has helped me take a lot of that anxiety and like channel it towards excitement and energy.
I always like to say to the team, to make your present better, make your future bigger. So when you're in the doldrums of like, oh God, this is going on, or I'm stuck in the thing, or okay, how to catapult yourself out of just the swamp of your current situation. You go, okay, but over here in 6 months or 6 years, whenever it is, like that's where I'll be, or I can see myself. It's such a fun little like rainbow you can take to get more into excitement, and then that fires up the excitement machine, I think.
Yeah, and it's a moving needle, right? So
it is.
First for us, it was like, let's get to 100 customers, 1,000, and then now it's more about let's make an impact and like bring it to like the users. And I think that, like exactly like you mentioned, that helps us keep that excitement going.
Oh yeah, you always got to have the next thing to go to. Yeah. Oh man. Well, Tushar, thank you for being on today, all the way from London here. Tushar Bagamane, who is the founder of Vola Finance, joined us today. And thank you,
Tushar.
You so much. Less anxiety, more excitement.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's do it. Thank you. See ya.
Bye-bye.